Amanda Poole. Watch Fox Sports.
Welcome into sports. I'm Amanda Poole, and with Halloween right around the corner, we have a scary good game for you guys tonight in this week's final Sonic Friday Night Rivals matchup. Well, Matt, I think this kid needs an NIL deal or a sponsorship with Dunkin' Donuts, because that is all he was doing tonight, putting on a show for this Gamecock crowd. To be honest, I'm right outside the Target Center. I haven't seen a single Gamecock fan leave yet. They're still in there celebrating with the team. I need to know, will you be getting another dog? And if so, what will he or she be named? The Tigers knew they'd be tested in Demon Deacon territory, but after a big stop in a double overtime, Clemson passed. What you go out there and do, what empowers you about that? And it's one thing to come to a new team, but to come to a new team and be the point guard of a new team as well. What's the biggest challenge for you to kind of take control on a floor full of guys that you didn't know, a couple months ago? Do I even want to know what happens when someone steps on this magic tiger head?
Well, for every action, there's a reaction.
They call it the battle for the axe for a reason. It's for this one right here. It's about a lot more than bragging rights tonight. Oh yeah, Matt, my ears are still ringing from the volume level that this place got to when Chico hit that shot, but I can still hear you, so that's a good thing. But it's college basketball season. That's the first thing that head coach Lamont Paris said after the game. Tigers are in the driver's seat of their division after taking down NC State 30-20. And the man behind the wheel is quarterback DJ Uiagalelei. Despite the solid lead, you guys have picked up several penalties. What do you look to clean up in the second half?
You just said it. Thank you.
What have you seen from Nolan Bierman out there on offense, kind of being your spark a little bit today?
He has.
Coach, Sky Harder has been a constant for you on offense. How do you hope that he makes the difference for you guys in the second half? And Justin Pauling, our player of the game, what a performance tonight. How does he showcase what War Eagle football is? You have two viable quarterback options. We've only seen one. Will number 2 come out tonight? The Wildcats have had little success against the Silver Foxes. In last season's breakout season, they lost this one 49-3, but head coach Perry Woolbright says this season they are going to give Dutch Fork their best shot. He says a lot of teams are intimidated by the Silver Foxes, but tells his players they are just another high school football team. Yeah, Stacey, you just touched on it. It's very dangerous, Chris Lofton in that backfield there, but he's got a lot more on his mind this season than football. He's dedicated this season to his older sister, Alacia, who passed away last December, and I got a chance to speak with him before the game, and he said Alacia was cool, she was funny, she was a mom to everybody, she was 20 years old, but she acted like she was 40 because she was so smart and mature. So he's dedicating this season for her, says he thinks about her in the stands like she would be here tonight.
The conversation of National Player of the Year has been everywhere. Dawn Staley's been very vocal about it, as well as all the fans. I wonder, from your perspective, your platform, I guess, what are you seeing? What are you hearing? And what's your opinion? This broadcast, the first women's basketball college game day in 11 years, I guess, what does that say, from your shoes, kind of how women's basketball in college has grown over the years?
Years ago, Title IX kind of changing the sports world forever. I guess, how do you think those changes are reflected in your team, your program?
This is the first time I'm doing a very famous basketball player's hair.
Alana White has been braiding Aaliyah Boston's hair since January.
I DM'd her on Instagram because I wanted her to be a hair model.
An inquiry that turned into their first appointment.
She came in and I was just taken aback by her height just a little bit.
The 6'5" National Player of the Year and recent national champion enjoys the element of surprise.
She comes in and I say, okay, this is the color we're doing today, and she says, oh, cool.
White has full control of Boston's braids, as long as it's loud.
She wanted a pop of color. She didn't want anything basic, no blacks, no browns.
After 6 hours, a transformation unfolds right here in White's hands. Time the two talk about everything but sports.
We're on TikTok, we'll play music on the TV, just sing along and just talk about college life. We don't talk about her basketball. We're taking a break from her being the record holder. So it's just really chill. It's nice to see that other side of her.
An escape for Boston, providing inspiration for White.
African American females have been looked down upon for just their hair in general, and braids was just another stigmatism. And it's good that everyone is now more accepting of braids and their colors, and it just shows all the young girls and all the African American girls with braids or with hair like ours that you can do whatever you want to do, and you don't have to conform to anybody's standard or statement. You can just be you.
A message White hopes to continue sending.
We haven't had a bad experience yet, and she just keeps coming back. So hopefully I get to go with her through her journey through the WNBA. So
You'll just be her personal stylist.
Yes.
Ready.
If they can spend their Sunday helping me out and be in my eyes, kudos to them.
Magnolia Peters is a collegiate triathlete, training in tandem out of necessity.
So I'm completely blind in my right eye. There's nothing there, always has been. In my left, I have 20/200 vision. So what you can see 200 feet away, I have to be 20 feet away to see.
The Newberry College freshman found her passion back in grade school.
I ended up falling in love with the sport, and some of the coaches were like, hey, you're actually pretty good at this. Why don't you come check out our camps? And I'm like, okay. And it was really funny because when I first did that camp, I was, the coaches are like, oh, you're visually impaired. You usually go on a tandem. And I'm like, what the heck? But I'm not doing that. Well, now I know that I need to race with a tandem and a guide. It's the safest course for me.
Maggie says she's learned the hard way that a guide is non-negotiable. Go Maggie! Go Mary!
I show up to camp and I'm like, I don't need a tether on the swim. I have good enough vision. So we go out on the swim and I ended up losing my guide.
A soft chuckle coming from an extremely hard worker who doesn't let her vision slow her down.
She knows one speed. It's all out.
She continues to push herself to stand out, not because she's legally blind, but because she's an athlete.
I'm looking more to be a competitor, not an inspiration. Whether I inspire you, that's amazing, but I want, wow, you did amazing because of your athletic ability, not because you're blind.
A mentality Maggie showcases at Newberry.
She's all about the team. I don't think she's ever been something like where it's about her, it's about the team.
While Maggie is breaking barriers in her world, she's also building a foundation for the future of women triathletes.
It's amazing being a part of history in a way. NCAA triathlon, it's technically still an emerging sport. It's trying to become a championship sport.
Newberry College is one of just 17 D2 schools in the nation to have a triathlon team. And just this year, USA Triathlon reached its mark of 40 collegiate women's varsity teams, a key milestone to becoming an official NCAA sport by 2024.
It's nice to be kind of like at the foreground of something new starting that will help so many generations after us. Clip.